Hello, friends, and it's good to see you guys all over here for the panel discussion. Being apolitical, is it the right way forward for India? This word has been the most used currency currently, and we have the expert panel to discuss the same. I would like to thank them for taking out their time and coming out over here to explain us what is apolitical, how it is, and it's for us to understand. Now, I wouldn't take much of your time. I would let the Mr. RP to come and introduce the guest, and post that it would be the discussion of the topic by Mr. Kohli, and then it would be handed over the panel to enlighten us on what the topic is all about. Thank you.
Jai Hind. That's the name of this college. So it's great to see all of you here in such a good number, and we must thank the panelists for coming here. Rajesh has already engaged with you. Jemin just spoke about it. The whole idea about taking apolitical as a topic is something which we have been thinking, because usually the reaction towards politics and politicians is something very negative. We think that is it really an application of mind in saying something, or just kind of a vogue to say that all the politicians are bad? It can't be true. As if we all in life, there could be a bad lawyers, there could be bad doctors. Similarly, there could be some not good politicians, but that doesn't mean to generalize that all politics and politicians are bad. This entire debate is based on that, and I do not want to dwell much on that. The eminent panelists are going to talk about it. Moderator is Mr. Ganesh Arnal, the investment banker. Just switch to the introduction. They really do not need introduction. Most of you know them. To start with, Meenakshi Lekhi. Meenakshi Lekhi earned her law degree from Delhi University and enrolled in the Bar Council of Delhi in 1990. Often termed a feminist lawyer, she has appeared on the behalf of victims in the Shanti Mukund Hospital rape case and represented Farida Dar, the main accused in the Lajpat Nagar bomb blast. Meenakshi has worked with the National Commission for Women and All India Women's Conference on issue of women's and children's rights, besides working on gender training program such as the National Human Rights Commission. Presently, she is the member in charge of law and policy in AIWC and a member of the NCW Special Committee. She was part of a drafting committee on the Women's Reservation Bill on sexual harassment at the workplace. So let's welcome Meenakshi Lekhi. Mr. Chetan Bhagat. How many of you have read at least one book of Chetan Bhagat? Okay. How many of you have read all the last 4 novels of Chetan Bhagat? And very soon there's going to be the 5th one. So, you know Chetan Bhagat. I have a brief, nice summary, and it's interesting to know some of the facts if in case we have missed it, and I would just want to, with your kind permission, read that. Chetan Bhagat is the author of the 5 blockbuster novels, 5 Point Someone, published in 2004, One Night at the Call Center in 2005, 3 Mistakes of Life in 2008, 2 States in 2009. By the way, I went to a bookstall and bought this. And I just went to a page, the most random reading, I went to a page where he lands in Chennai to his to-be father-in-law's house. Believe me, hilarious. That's hilarious, seriously. And the chutney and the idli chutney and the paratha. So that's beautiful. So 2 States, 2009, and Revolution 2020, that's the one which he's going to come. When I looked at his last tweet, he was saying it's out of my hands now with the publishers. Chetan's books have remained bestsellers since their release and have been adapted into major Bollywood films. The New York Times called him the biggest-selling English-language novelist in India's history. Time magazine named him in the 100 most influential people in the world. And Fast Company USA listed him as one of the world's 100 most creative people in business. Obviously, a person who does IIT and IIM takes the standard track. Here is a man who breaks the track and starts a new path. I'm sure it must be inspiration for many of you. Chetan writes columns for leading English and Hindi newspapers focusing on youth and national development issues. He is also a motivational speaker. I'm adding something here. He has got more than 5 lakh followers on the tweet. Chetan quit his international investment banking career in 2009 to devote his entire time to writing and make change happen in the country. He lives in Mumbai with his wife Anusha, an ex-classmate from IMA, and his twin boys Shyam and Ishan. Chetan writes columns for leading English and Hindi newspapers focusing on youth and national development issues. He's also a motivational speaker. So let's give a big hand to Chetan Bhagat once again. A young inspiration from any Indian. Kiran Kher ji. A superb speaker who speaks out of her heart all the time. No inhibitions. Whatever comes, she speaks. So boldness is her identity. Let me just read what's the most summarized part of her brief. Kiran Kher, a graduate from the Punjab University, Chandigarh, accomplished her master's in English literature from the university itself. She was an avid sports person representing her university, the state of Punjab, as well as India in badminton. She further went to join the Department of Indian Theatre under the guidance of Balwant Gargi. Kiran moved to Bombay from Chandigarh and ventured into theatre performing in various acclaimed plays, one of which being Salgirah with Anupam Kher, which was directed by Firoz Abbas Khan. Her performance in films like Sardari Begum by Shyam Benegal and Bariwali by Rituparno Ghosh won her the National Award in the Best Actress category. In 2003, she won the Best Actress Award for her film Khamosh Pani at the Locarno International Film Festival, Switzerland, the Karachi International Film Festival, and International Festival at CP in Argentina and Cape Town in South Africa. Her performance in Indian cinema, which most of us must have definitely seen big hits, is incomplete without the mention of her numerous blockbuster Bollywood films such as Devdas, Rang De Basanti, Main Hoon Na, Om Shanti Om, Veer Jara, Dostana, Singh is King, and Qurban leave you in awe of her resplendent performance, and it's no surprise that many of the aforementioned films have won her various popular awards. She is also the brand ambassador for Ladli, which is a campaign against female feticide and infanticide. So good thing about Kiran Kher is that she's just not focusing on film. She's connecting with the society, she's connecting with the nation, and she has a huge passion for the country. And anyway, she is quite keen to interact with the youngsters. She wants to engage with more and more youngsters, engage with the young mind. So big hand for Kiran Kher once again. Aditya Raj Kaul, born in Kashmir, is an activist turned journalist. At present, the India editor of the Indian newspaper published from Sydney, Australia. He has also worked as a features writer with the Times of India. Soon after birth, he met a forced exodus due to sudden eruption of terrorism in his homeland. In exile ever since, he has spent most of his youth in New Delhi. Kaul holds a major in political science from Delhi University. Kaul rose to limelight in the country when at the age of 16, he initiated Justice for Priyadarshini Mattu campaign. Its verdict now being unprecedented. His immense contribution in the justice campaign of slain model Jessica Lal and murdered Nitish Katara are worth mention. Meanwhile, 2 documentary films are being made on his years in activism, one by renowned director Rakesh Omprakash Mehra of Rang De Basanti fame. And when I read his last paragraph, he seems to be a huge personality on the television. So it says, Kaul was announced the youth icon of year 2006 by the India Today magazine, Delhi Times, the Times of India, and news channel NDTV. He was as well chosen as the top 25 capital change makers in New Delhi by India Today Group. He regularly appears on various national and international news channels as an expert on Kashmir and Indian politics. Kaul has recently moved to Mumbai and shifted focus to writing and photography. So with this, we would get started with the panel discussion. I have a small request. Rajesh Jain would want to share, because this program has been organized by Friends of BJP, and Rajesh Jain wants to speak about what the Friends of BJP group is all about. A very brief time of yours, and then we'll move to the panel discussion. Over to Rajesh.